this win to keep the fans cheering for them as they move forward. We got one more best of 5 elimination on the line. Let's see who takes the dub.
Split and season-long context is all over the place in this match between PSG Tundra and Oxygen Esports. And CJ, my beloved co-caster, with whom I've been casting for many years, of course, everyone seems to be going the way of PSG. Can you just give us a shout for Oxygen?
Look at the players on the pitch. Cole, firstly, it's great to be here with you, of course.
Hello.
And just, guys, is this our first time on the RLCS together? Just me and you? I know we had Yummy in London.
We did have Yummy. That was a shame. But now it's just the two of us. Yeah, definitely a step up here.
Well, it's a win-win situation here, but it's great to be here, as we said. And, well, for Oxygen Esports, it's not great to be in the lower bracket. This team, obviously, well, Rise decided to just join them and then leave them. And they wound up with EXO on the other side of things, which, on paper, I would say, looks like it should work. But so far, they've been a little bit disappointing. Not the powerhouse team that, Oxygen looked to be coming into at least last split.
It's tough when the little frog that is Rise hops on the lily pad of a new team, joins you for a split, and then leaves. It's so difficult to rebrand yourself. Oxygen tried to do that with EXO, but PSG Tundra, they're a team that just do not ever let you in.
They just keep finding a way, this team as well, to reunite with each other. And, well, they had so much success last season. They're back together, the three of them. And, I mean, it's hard to pick against this team. They've got all the chemistry. Honestly, I might be underrating this team, PSG Tundra. Oh, no, Archie! Not early on. We don't want to see open nets early on. Archie's just cleared that to the corner. Oh,
yeah,
no.
After an attempted own goal as well. So both teams forgetting what team they play for. I blame Rise for that, from hopping so often, changing all what's going on here. But one way or another, we remain at 1-0 to PSG. And Oxygen going to have to go again. And that sort of microcosm seems to sum up what's happening with Oxygen at the moment. They still have the play. As Ivan tries to flip reset past their defense and Tox squeezes it in. Oxygen so near yet so far. PSG, though, they find a way.
I feel like every time I commentate these series online in EU, I bring a little bit of OCE with me, and it's just started here again. Archie, as we said, Oxygen, they're almost own goaling. They're missing open nets, and well, it is PSG Tundra to capitalise early.
Sometimes you can tell with a team when something fundamentally just isn't quite there, and Oxygen have that about them. It can quickly change. One series win, that will completely flip on its head. But they have to earn that series win, and PSG is such a stubborn team. Such a stalwart defense they have. They're the last team you want to come up against if you feel like you need a free goal or two. I can really see them continuing to frustrate Oxygen for the rest of this, certainly the rest of this game, perhaps the rest of this series.
And Oxygen did release a bit of a compelling little vlog from the Winter Major as well, so make sure you go check that out. There's a free shout out for them, but certainly showed their comms, and there was a few issues. They weren't quite clicking in scrims, and just a few communicational sort of things that you don't often see with these teams. This could be another open net. Cat does put that a note. EXO with the save, the follow-up doesn't quite come through. But it was interesting to see Oxygen. They just weren't quite meshing. Particularly, we saw Rise having some problems with Archie, which was a little bit public, if you would, and just not too sure about this team right now. What we are sure of is that PSG Tundra have 3 on the board.
Yeah, we've been talking about Oxygen this entire time because it's a fascinating story. But meanwhile, PSG don't care about what we're discussing. They just play their game. They blitz their way through the Oxygen defense yet again. 3-0, CJ, less than half a game gone. The mistakes that you were talking about, that lack of team camaraderie, as a recently former player, can that be fixed?
Oh, it certainly can be, but sometimes it's, if you have sort of a few headstrong people, if you would, guys that, it's sort of, I don't want to say it's their way or the highway, if you would, but certainly have their own ideas how to play the game, how they want to practice, how they want to approach scrims and whatnot. It can be conflicting with different teammates. And as we said, it's only 3 players on the roster, Cole. So if you've got a problem, that's a third of your team with 1 player or even 2 players. It can really blow up quite quickly. And Oxygen haven't found it. Kata almost finds the angle there, Catalysm. Couldn't quite get the touch. And as we're talking about Oxygen's downfall, it's just been PSG Tundra. Perhaps we need to pump up this side a little bit more, Cole, because they have come out of the gate swinging.
Yeah, completely and utterly. It's a very PSG Tundra performance so far. Not all about flashy mechanics, pure rotations. And then when they have the chance, they put the pass in. Tox's pass earlier onto Catalysm just now for the shot that wasn't quite. It was a great example. how this team, they can change pace as soon as they need to, and here they come again. Here's Tox, one more touch, and they could be in once more. Ixo misses, Catalysm fakes, Joreuz just about sneaks that one away from his own goal line, and Archie can see it away, but look at the continued pressure coming on from PSG. Oxygen can barely get out their own half, and now the fakes come in as well.
Man, this is the classic champion team versus team of champions right here. I feel like on paper, Oxygen just seem like they should have them covered, but it is PSG Tundra that just look like more of a well-oiled machine right now, particularly in offense. They're setting up. The demo coming through might be able to help Oxygen with the attack. Tox is on the backboard. He's had a pre-jump shot low, and he still saves it. Follow-up's not there either. Joreuz couldn't get there in time. Archie trying to put the ball back in. Ixo shot on there. It is Oxygen's first goal on the board, but there's only a minute left.
Yeah, not too much time now for Oxygen to come online, but they've at least given themselves a chance. Joreuz was making sure there was no challenge on the new boy Ixo, who's slotted in okay with Oxygen. You have to feel a big personality to come in alongside Joreuz and Archie, and maybe Ixo is that player, a little bit older, a little bit more experienced, used to situations like this. Can he turn it around for Oxygen? Not quite yet, and Joreuz is just an inch or two too late. Ivan begins a counter for PSG. Might be another goal for PSG Tundra, but they're more than happy to defend CJ for the next 40 seconds or so.
Yeah, game one's crucial in a best of 5 as well. We saw what BDS did to Team Liquid. They ran away with that series after getting the first game, and this could be the case here with PSG Tundra here. 30 seconds on the clock. Oxygen have to find something. It is in the right end. Ivan trying to deal with the ball. Ixo, that's a great touch. Archie not there. No second man from Oxygen again. Not as much trust here, only 20 seconds now. You feel like there has to be a goal from this attack. 50-50 coming out, Catalysm deals with it. Archie keeping the ball in. Tox now, 12 seconds left. They are just killing time on the clock here. PSG Tundra, a professional game one, Cole.
Professional is the perfect word for it, and at times it's all too easy for PSG. The touches Oxygen are making just don't seem to be surprising them. Passes a little bit too central, a little bit too slow. Solo play attempts a little bit too basic. Everything that PSG likes playing against is exactly what Oxygen has offered right here. Second goal could just slightly change the conversation going into game 2, but PSG, they don't even let you have that. Eventually the ball is going to touch the floor, and it's a deserved game 1 for PSG Tundra.
Fantastic start. They really just jumped them there early, and well, Oxygen didn't look switched on. We saw Archie missing a wide open net, not even missing it, but clearing the ball to the corner for PSG. And obviously almost an own goal there at the start of the game as well. Oxygen certainly don't look too warmed up, but they did have 11 shots. They certainly had their chances.
Yeah, I mean, PSG, they are fighting to get to this major. They're fighting to get to Worlds. For them, everything is going to be a battle, every single goal. Currently, a few points behind Moist Esports, and it's actually Moist Esports or Vitality that the winner of this series will play. So, massive pressure on PSG Tundra, and I think their playstyle suits that pressure because it is quite defensive.
And look, Cole, you asked me why I picked Oxygen. I mean, look at them on paper. I mean, we've got Peaksos.
I don't think you did.
I did pick Oxygen. I was the only one to pick Oxygen. You wanted me to play devil's advocate. I'm just playing for what I think. Like,
you are the devil.
Can I get a 1 in chat if you agree with me? Look at this team. Why are they not performing? We've got Peakso from Quadrant coming over. Joreuz we were talking about a top 5 player in Europe not too long ago. Archie as well. What's going on with this lineup? Improve. Show us what you've got. And this is a great start right here.
You've just bought yourself 100 million more ones in chat, has Archie and Joreuz, with that early goal in Forbidden Temple for Oxygen Esports. I also noticed that you didn't say type 2 in chat if you disagree with me. So
well, type 2 if you disagree, but it doesn't make sense, Carl. What is going on with this lineup? They should be top 4 up there in Europe, top 3 winning regionals. Even last season, obviously we saw with Rise, they were touted as, you know, taking over the world, a favourite to win a major, win all the regionals. They're just not doing it, but Peakso just needed a motivational speech. Here we go.
Motivational speak, so booms it into the top left corner. The old man, the one they needed to just take these kids under control and say, look lads, as CJ said, we are of that caliber. We are capable of coming up against a team like PSG who sure play neat and tidy Rocket League, and we can blitz them away. That's what we're seeing now, early on in game 2. PSG will try and come back though. Tox against the Ixo. Catalysm just fakes it out, waits for Joreuz's clearance to allow Ivan in. This is what we saw more from game 1. PSG pressure, but Oxygen looks so much better equipped to deal with it at this point.
Yeah, good defense here from Ixo pushing it to the side, and I mean, it feels like just give us a bit of life. We're finally seeing a bit of a sign of life here from Oxygen. They're a better team than this. They know this. If they need coaching, let me know. I mean, just show us something. We're seeing it here in Game 2, though. It seems like they've woken up. The warm-up scrim clearly didn't come through here for Oxygen, but maybe that was their Game 1. Todd can't get the save. Catalysm's there. Jory, a shot on net. Catalysm again, double save. Oxygen trying to get their third, and they're working hard for it.
All Oxygen so far. PSG have had a moment or two, to be fair, but haven't really been barreling down on the Oxygen door. I was going to try and change that. He's got no boost, though. Ivan's going to help him out. Looks with an early flick there. Almost got over the top of Archie. But Oxygen once again wriggle their way. Have a pretty tricky situation. PSG realise they have been well beaten so far in game number 2. They have to change that. The infield pass could be a good avenue for them to do so. Pops into the corner. They just seem to have slowed down a little bit. Oxygen spreading out more, not being as rushy, and just generally upping their gameplay in Game 2.
Yeah, they got caught by surprise here, it feels like PSG early on in Game 2, and now they're just trying to recompose themselves, find what they had in the early stages of game number 1. Right now, though, it is Oxygen that have the upper hand at the moment. Good boost grab there from Catalysm. Could see an offense here coming through for PSG. No boost from Archie, but still forcing through. And gets a beat out and a shot on net. Catalysm is awkward front post. Does clear it away, but well, PSG, they're not quite finding a way through at the moment. The orange half it's looking a little bit barren. There's no ball down there. Exo gets the clear again, and it is Oxygen straight down the other end.
And they're combining again as well. Oxygen in the air. That's what they want to be playing Rocket League. Aerials, full boost. Launching it forward. Exo gets the little flip cancel. He keeps on going, but it just about hits the post. PSG desperate to get this ball away. Jorias won't let them at least yet. And now Tox can finally do it. Catalysm is clearing the path for him, but Tox just doesn't quite have enough to get past the Oxygen defense. Exo, though, can't say the same for him against PSG. She has his turn, so Oxygen looking so much more dangerous. Exo's in the center, avoids the bump, and here he comes. It's gone over again. Jorias is looking like 3-0 is looking so much more likely than 2-1 at the moment.
Exo is feeling himself right now. If there was a heat meter, it'd just say hot for Exo. As the more shots coming in, here goes Joris. He should be putting that away every day of the week, but it goes wide. Try to go top corner. Catalysm tries to deal with the ball. Joris has so much space to work with. Exo's on the backboard. Tox has the pre-jump. Bad clear. Archie gets a shot on net. Instead, goes for the dribble, gets the boost. This is an Oxygen offensive masterclass. Cole, they just needed a pump-up speech, something. The flip reset as well. Tox, Archie's there. They can't get it out of the defensive end.
They'll keep on coming. Exo over the top to Archie. Earlier on, he was on the backboard, and Joris put in the slowest pass of all time towards him. Tries to make sure he doesn't make the same mistake towards Archie. Jorias then fakes it to Archie. Then there's Jorias. Exo's waiting. Exo's desperate. He wants everything to fall to his Fennec. Nothing is just yet, but this is everything that Oxygen need to do. Just keep the ball in blue territory. I cannot remember the last time we made it to the orange half. I think we did there. VAR's been called in. We are in the orange half.
They're playing with their food right now, Oxygen. This is what you'd expect from the offensive power this lineup has, and we are seeing it here in game number 2. 1 minute left. PSG, though, they're only 2 goals down. If they can find one here, if they can just get on attack. Archie off the ceiling. Exo's pre-jumping. Instead, he goes for the bump. Double commit in defense there from PSG. They do deal with it, but with 45 seconds left, Cole, this could be 1-1.
We're currently on 12 shots for Oxygen versus 2. Now 13-2 for Oxygen against PSG Tundra. If PSG can win this one, it will be one of the greatest Rocket League steals of all time. Can Ivan get the great heist going? Not quite yet. Catalysm, the ball's behind him as well. Oxygen just doing so well to keep that ball in the PSG corner. A third goal would kill it, but for now it remains just about alive.
Oh, they just can't breathe right now, PSG. Another open opportunity. Cat is in net. Archie's just killing time. Oh, my goodness. This is disrespectful at this point. Oxygen, what a response here. Game 2. Joris, can he get the third on the board? Tries to get it middle. Can't quite get the touch. 2 seconds on the clock. Tox just wants to put the ball down at this point. If you're PSG, you need a timeout. You need something. Ball hits the ground. And Oxygen Esports with one of the most dominant games you could ever see.
Yeah, good luck taking a tactical timeout and get in a best of 5 as well. They can't do that, PSG. You just got to keep on rolling through. You've got 60 seconds to talk through that series. And CJ, in your time, you've had a few series where you've been as dominated as PSG Tundra were there. What do you say in the 60 seconds?
What? Well, yeah, no, I have had a few games, Cole, where I have been absolutely smashed. Thanks for that segue. That was brilliant. You know, at this point, you're thinking, boys, let's just pack it up. Let's go for lunch. Like, what's everyone want for dinner?
Just give up.
Yeah, let's have an early day. No, look, it's 1-1 right now. PSG, obviously, they showed up in the first game. I just think that start, that 2-0 quick fire goals there, it was Ixo popping off early. It really rattled PSG, and then they just couldn't find their footing. It felt like they just stumbled in the first 30 seconds, and then they just couldn't get back up on their feet. And it was Oxygen just really doing what their namesake is. They weren't giving them any. They couldn't breathe there in defense. They couldn't find a way out. And a fantastic response. But it's only 1-1. Game not over yet. That's what I'd be saying if I was PSG. Score tied up. And as the casterism is, we've got a best of 3 now.
I mean, we also know that PSG, I like the little giggle. We also know that PSG have character themselves as the team that have been dropped by Orgs, and then they've fought their way back into contention, picked up by PSG Tundra, no longer the German amigos. Yeah, exactly. It's not an easy thing to do. They've doubled up there, a football team analog. Wow, can't complain about that. So we know that they have fight in them. They have to show it now within the context of this series after that second game. They've started the third game well as well, looking more like themselves.
And, you know, what they have going for them is last game it was the BDS Liquid. It was a 1-1 and then BDS ran away with the game. So PSG will be trying to emulate that here in Game 3. This is all important as well, as we said. It's a best of 5, no timeouts. You know, if you lose this one, you're out of the regional. Both sides want to advance. They need those major points. Oxygen is so far back right now in terms of major contention. Double touch almost from Joris. That would have brought the house down here on DFH, but doesn't quite happen. And Archie does get the ball away. Catalysm, bit of midfield game, bit of argy-bargy bumper cars. Ivan again, but PSG in defense, Cole. They don't like being here.
Yeah, you feel for Oxygen, this is more about building momentum for Worlds at this point. They're pretty much guaranteed, I believe, points-wise, to make it to the World Championships.
Yeah.
Very long way back if they are to make the major, but the momentum build begins now, hopefully for them against PSG. But Ivan puts it into the centre. Tox is there, wants to wrap his car around it. Can't quite do it. And now look at the 3 Oxygen players steaming forward. Wants to flick over the top of Catalysm. Joris was there. He was waiting. It's a flick reset to slow things down. Let his teammates pick up some boost. Tox in the corner. Maybe this attack ends here and Ivan gets it long. And it almost will, but it falls to Ixo in the end. Smashes it home for 1-0 Oxygen.
I mean, Oxygen have forgot about rotations. Just get in their net and start being an absolute nuisance here. It was Archie this time who was almost playing goalkeeper for PSG, but just getting in Tox's eye line, getting in the way, couldn't get the save. And this does feel a lot like Game 2 here, Cole. Oxygen picking up where they left off.
Yeah, Archie's signature move, the Argy-Bargy. Got the PSG Tundra defence way out the way there, but they have started again well from the kickoff, PSG. Tox has potentially a pass into the centre, but look how much Oxygen have that covered. The midfield presence of the green cars compared to the blue ones is pretty terrifying right now for PSG. Where do you go when you have that ball stuck in your own corner?
Yeah, Oxygen, they've been all over them like a rash here for pretty much the past 15 minutes. If you include the last game, it's been ridiculous, but as you said, it's only 1-0 so far. Half the game gone here in Game 3. An all-important Game 3 to go ahead in the series, put the other team on match point, and it is Oxygen again in offense right now. PSG can't find a way out. Archie gets 2 touches, 3 touches. Catalysm waits for it on the backboard. Gets a nice little scoop over the top. He goes peaks though. What can he do? Can't quite get the touch. Tox does dribble it out. And again, PSG, Cole, they just look so awkward in defense.
Yeah, they'll come forward now though. Catalysm wanted to come in for that ball. Ixo just charges down the centre yet again. Fearless from Oxygen. Suddenly it seems their playstyle has just clicked into place. As Ivan can only send that one outwards. Jory is winning this race at the ceiling pinch as well. And Archie's going to beat Catalysm to the ball. It's like nothing is working for PSG. They just cannot get control of the round thing in the centre. And there's also bumping going on in goal as well. Archie, he is just being an absolute menace against PSG. And Joris and Pixo are having a great time about it.
He's a nuisance, and they are, as I said, it feels like they're playing with their food right now, just relying on their mechanics, playing with a lot of confidence. The pass pack wasn't fantastic, but Joris does have boost to work with and plays it smartly. Around 2, if you don't mind. Catalysm last does commit. I don't mind it. The bump on Archie. This could be trouble here. Ixo does bail him out. Oxygen on defense for the moment, but well, they like it down the other end, and this is what they're trying to do. The 50-50 is dangerous. Tox does get the 50 across off the backboard. Archie has not rotated back once in the last 2 games. There's his first time.
I think it all stems from that moment at the beginning when he whacked the ball sideways instead of scoring. I think it's like, oh, actually, I do quite like the blue half of the pitch. I do like being here. I do like going for flip resets, charging that ball towards the goal, but this is dangerous now. Catalysm has Tox clearing the path in front of him, but Jory has managed to both dodge the player impeding him and get the save. Oxygen can counter. Here's Archie. Full boost to the ceiling, to the backboard, but saved by PSG Tundra.
He tried to drop it down, but PSG, they were ready for it. A lot of patience there. Joris has a lot of boost to work with. I don't think Catalym's expected. 8 touches on it. The pass out doesn't quite come through. Archie, third man right up there. He has not been third man once. He is first man the whole game. Look at him go. Just flat out ball chasing right now. These guys are playing with so much confidence. It feels like this is scrim Oxygen coming through the 50 off the ground. Follow up, Jorius does get it. And Oxygen still on attack. EXO is waiting here. 20 seconds left. They just need to hold on, Cole.
But there is a couple of clean touches now for PSG Tundra. Ivan wants to get around the ball, but he can't do it. Catalysm can only slow it down. This is the last thing that they want. Again, Oxygen just taking all the pace and the sting out the game. Right when PSG need to up it. 4 seconds remaining until Oxygen go within just 1 game of staying alive in this tournament. Ivan sends it high. Jorius, can he kill it here? He's going to try to. Catalysm forced him to keep it up, and Tox has a chance. He catches, he flicks. I don't think that's going anywhere. I'm wrong because Tox keeps it up again. Scampers after that ball and stops it hitting the floor. Exo's flip reset only goes to Ivan. This is still danger. Ivan has boost over Jorius. Tox is coming in. Tox is blocked by Archie, who for the first time this series finds himself in defense, and it's at the perfect moment, and Oxygen go 2-1 up in the series.
Well, it stayed up for an eternity, but they did find a way in the end. The green team, Oxygen, 2-1 up now. A perfect response after that game 1. And again, it wasn't quite as dominant as game 2, but still 7 shots to 3, all in the blue end there. The offense was in, and Archie was playing as the 4th defender. It felt like for PSG, just rotating through their net. And this is a better Oxygen. There was a bit of a call to arms, wasn't there, Cole, after game 1 from myself. I was pleading with these boys to show us what we know they can do on paper, and maybe we're seeing it now.
Yeah, the have fun meta. It worked for NRG over in North America. Maybe now it's working for Oxygen in EU as well, because this is a team that features fluidity. It's a team that's enjoying themselves, and I don't think we've had that sense from Oxygen really since the beginning of this split, CJ.
Yeah, it's been a bit, I don't know, it seems a bit clock in, clock out from Oxygen, if you would, particularly last split. It was
been bleak so rather than peak so.
It has been a bit bleak so, but that wasn't his fault, especially last split. It just felt like the boys weren't quite enjoying the game, enjoying the grind and practicing. It was more just of a job to them, but now, at least the game 2 and 3, we are starting to see an Oxygen that looks to be having fun, as we saw with Archie's rotations. Unconventional, but getting the job done at the moment.
I mean, Archie is rotating horizontally from the left to the right in the blue half. It's actually quite impressive. I'd like to keep an eye on him for a second, just to focus on where exactly he is going and why he's doing so much damage right now to PSG Tundra. As soon as I say that, he loses the ball and suddenly he's got to come back and defend, which is absolutely classic. But what are you going to do? Basically, he's staying in the blue half a lot is what I'm saying.
It's a great change up here from PSG as well. We've just seen some offensive demos down the other end just to break up the rotation, break up the offense from Oxygen. I like it. They didn't have a timeout, but clearly this is a conscious change. Look at Ivan sitting forward, just being a nuisance in the orange half now, almost adopting Oxygen's strategy, and so far it's working. They do have the attack. They do have an open net. If the bumps come through, it has come through. The follow-up, Catalysm saved it. Surely there's a goal somewhere, but Oxygen hold on.
How have they not just pulled the trigger there, PSG? They had all the cards in front of them. They just couldn't shoot. It's unbelievable. Oxygen hugely get away with one. They get away with 3 Tox. Good catch, but that's the frustration of PSG Tundra. You love the way they play. You love the switch up. And then I think it was Ivan had a chance to maybe put a pass into the center or a shot onto the backboard. Maybe Casperton, I think it was, and did neither. Just pass it to the goalkeeper. You've got to have just that bit more creativity. If they can have that bravery, there's a series win here for PSG Tundra.
They just needed to hit the ball. They couldn't quite get it done, but they are still on offense. It feels like these bumps have at least halted this Oxygen run, the momentum so far. EXO's got other ideas, puts the ball forward, but Catalysm's right there. Joris with the 50-50. Smart play from Catalysm and the 50 again here. Should be an opportunity for PSG to get the ball out. Here we go. Ivan does miss the ball, though. The touch is heavy. Still gets the touch. Catalysm off the wall. Demo's coming through. EXO gets the save. Tox setting up now. PSG trying to keep the ball in. Pass downfield. Flip reset. Ivan saved out by Archie.
PSG showing what they can do mechanically, though. A pre-jump a flip reset, something creative, a few demos coming in, a sprinkling of this, a sprinkling of that, all designed to make Oxygen think, and you know they are thinking, taking this one more seriously. Archie has been sent right back to his own half this game. Utopia's blue half has featured a lot less of the Englishman than the other games in this series, sorry. So he's going to let this one land. Actually, it's Archie who just booms it onto the backboard where Catalysm was waiting. Now PSG Tundra should be able to get this one away, but a return of the demos. This is a spicy old matchup here. How is it still 0-0?
Horizontal Archie's back again. Jory's pass across. Great 1-2. Go ahead play here. Ixo goes whack. Oxygen open it up here. Game number 4.
PSG were pinned so far back. Look how much space Joris has to play with. Tox, he thought he was doing his best defensive standing, but he just crept forward a bit, so had to jump upwards rather than at that 45-degree angle that your car takes you to, making the save so much more tough. And PSG, for all their improvements, CJ, still find themselves behind. What else do they have in the tank?
Oh, there's something beautiful about a pass along the ground as well, just setting up his teammate Ixo, putting the ball away. The whiff coming through, the double demos coming through as well, PSG. It feels like they're getting these opportunities, Cole, where Oxygen are rattled. They don't have the structure. They're falling apart through demos, but they're just not quite finding a way through.
Surely that's got to change. You can't see Oxygen keeping a clean sheet this game. Oh, there's a
I don't mind this.
In the sky. Will that be changed, or are we entering a 2v2 situation? I think I'd back PSG in a 2v2. The amount of demos they've been going for, and Oxygen struggling with them. But of course, Jory is not a bad 1v1 and 2v2 player himself, CJ.
Either very comfortable in this situation. I'd love Oxygen right now. Ixo now gets an opportunity. The run has been broken. We're going to have to analyse post-game whoever wins this, whether that had a massive impact or not, but I don't love it. The open net almost could have been on target. Catalysm gets a save in the corner. Past central. Another dangerous touch. Touch backwards. The demo's coming through. Catalysm does rotate back in time. Ixo, does he have an infield? Does he have Archie? Goes high. Jory's follow-up wide again. They can't quite get their second goal, but do they need it?
Oh, maybe one more bump. Ixo has just been bypassed by Ivan's touch. Tox up against Archie. Archie just wants to keep this one alive for himself. Ivan, though, he's got the flip reset off the backboard, but can't forget the next touch. Catalysm does. Here's Tox. Does he get the finish? There's another demo. Another save comes in. The shot was so safe. He's just placed it onto the goal. Shoot it, man. Shoot it hard.
Mr. Beast goes back in net. He's back. PSG Tundra. 35 seconds left to keep their hopes alive here. Spring Cup on the line. Everything on the line right now for both these teams.
My prediction on the line, CJ.
Your prediction, your perfect record is on the line, and I want to get one on the board. Just get me off the donuts here. Tox goes forward. 20 seconds now. PSG trying to equalise. The 50-50s coming through. They've held all the pressure, all the bumps, but they haven't broken the deadlock yet.
Finally, at least, though, this game, they've had some shots. They need one more at least in the last 9 seconds. Tox around the corner. Archie's already up. He's not quite bumped away. Captain is into the corner. Saved by Jorias again. Can he just kill this ball? I think he's going to do it. And I think that Oxygen are going to advance, keep their split alive, and knock out PSG Tundra.
Oh, this result could just mean so much more down the line as well. Even later on today, the momentum, the confidence from Oxygen. They'll be playing in a best of 7 later on, as we said. And that could speak volumes here for this side. Oxygen, if they can run with this, the confidence, they could be having a moist, they could be playing a vitality later on.
Yeah.
But it feels like they've flipped a switch here. I'm not sure if they were listening into the stream for the motivational speech, Cole, but they certainly found a way.
I mean, they have Snasky, and I'm sure he was just screaming at them after that first game, saying, what is this? Who are we? Is this how we want to play our Rocket League? And what we saw, CJ, was it very much isn't. I think Oxygen here have reminded us that they are a team to be taken seriously in EU and, when they do make Worlds, in the world.
You know what I do know, though? The best of 5s are out of the way. The best of 7s are coming up right after this, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. It's Super Saturday.